Hi there everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Hongos, and today we are reviewing the 100mm macro by Canon. Now this is not the latest and greatest, it is actually a 20-year-old lens, and I'll be honest from the get-go, I only purchased it because of the price point, and I was extremely hesitant about it. I wanted the L series glass with IS, but after using this lens for probably 5 months now, I can safely say that my worries were non-existent. The very first thing that you're going to notice about this lens is the build quality. It is not the highest end build on this. It's actually very plasticky. Second, you'll notice the size of the eye, which is 67 millimeters, and there are 8 blades inside of it. Also, it is clearly a chunky boy. And it doesn't help that if you are running a mirrorless system, you will need the adapter, making it even longer than it needs to be. Now I know what you're wondering about the performance. Does it slow down with the adapter? And the answer is no. It's actually pretty freaking nice. The speed is on par with any lens that I've had in the past. However, I don't think it really matters if it is a very fast lens, because for the most part, you're going to be very close to your subjects. But it is pretty freaking loud. If you plan on using it for B-roll and you want the audio from that B-roll, it's not the best option. The focus ring is not very pleasant to move around when you're manually focusing, which I was doing a lot. It is a 2-finger movement most of the time. It's not very smooth either. While it does have the ultrasonic motor, this was in the earlier stages of Canon's lineup, and I feel like it could be a lot better. You have 2 options with the macro mode. I always personally kept it at 31 as it just looks really, really cool to get close up. When you get close up to things, you will start to see a lot of dirt. And for me as a product reviewer, that was kind of annoying, to be quite honest. And I think that the overall performance for the lens is still pretty on par with anything that you're going to get today. The age, I think, of this lens shows quite often if you are using a more modern mirrorless system. With the adapter and any mirrorless camera that you have with this lens, it just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. The design is no longer very cohesive, and with the yellow ring, it sticks out quite a lot. It also makes the camera that you're using very front heavy. Then there's the quality of the images, and I fell in love with a lot of the images. It really opens up the perspective on what you can get, the way that you can move around your subject and get a lot of different angles. I thought I was originally going to use it for portraits, but I ended up just using it for a lot of my product and B-roll for this channel. If I were to compare it to any L glass that I have previously, it still stacks up. It's still a fantastic lens for anyone that's really on a budget. I found mine for 300 bucks. And I'm not disappointed with it at all. My biggest concern was just image stabilization, and that was an unneeded thought to have. All our cameras now have IS, and the lens takes advantage of that. I think that the way that this lens is used for most people, one, you're going to be holding it very, very steady, making the IS unneeded, or 2, it's going to stay static on a tripod. So in both cases, while I would have loved to have the additional IS, it just seems unnecessary and like an unneeded expense. The camera just does a really great job. Even in 2022, 22 years later, it can still hold up with the top dogs. I overall think that a lot of people should be picking up this lens as it is much cheaper than the new L series glass that we have and the 2.8 macro with image stabilization. I hope that you liked the samples that I showed you. What are your thoughts on this lens at our current time with so many great pieces of gear? Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure to follow me on Twitter and Vero. At the end of the day, I thank you so much for your time and your attention. My name is Hongos, and I'll catch you in the next one.